Hello, hello. Nice. Hello, how are you? Fine? Nice, nice. Today I'm going to present you infinite patterns in the digital canvas, unleashing creativity with JavaScript in algorithmic art. First of all, I want to ask you a question. Who of you drew when you were a child? Please stand up. Stand up. It's a very long day, and I want to see your energy. Who of you drew when you were a child? Nice. But I want to ask another question. Who of you draw today? Oh, but who of you draw today with code? Who make art with code? I know the most of you love coding. That's why we were here. Really? Nice? Okay. Bueno, drawing when you were a children is a very good experience. You unfilter your creativity. But today, when we are adults, we change our minds and have judgment about ourselves and fear of judgment about others. So, today I'm going to talk about, first of all, I want you to know myself and who is speaking to you. Then I want you to learn what is algorithmic art. Then I want to introduce you a library of JavaScript that you can make algorithmic art and creative coding. Then I want to show you some experimentation resources to explore. Finally, I'm going to some conclusions and reflections, and my bibliographic references. I am Francisca Beatriz Medina Concha. I hope you can pronounce well. You can find me in my social networks like LinkedIn with my full name, and in Instagram as franny.be. Instagram is my main social network, and if you take some photos, I'd be grateful if you tag me, please. Thank you. My roles, I am adjunct professor in Node graphic narration class. I am a teacher in the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile. I don't know if you know about this university, but it's the best Latin American university, or kind of. I teach for people who want to become journalists. They studied journalists, like periodistas, I don't know how to say well in English. And there, I teach the students how to generate web stories about his reports, but with data. I teach them Python and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to generate their web stories. Then they talk about a story with data and a lot of graphical things, medias. Nice? Another hand, I'm UX and front-end leader in LATAM Airlines. LATAM Airlines is an airline that have planes. Really? Do you know LATAM? It's the main airline in Latin America. With my team, we generate digital products for our clients, but our internal clients. And we focus a lot of user experience and generate very well front ends. And last of all, but not least, I am volunteer and speaker in several communities in my country. One is JavaScript Chile, that organizes the JSConf Chile, and I hope see you there. And a Mujeres Pro Chile, that is a ex-Woman Who Code community. I don't know, you know Woman Who Code? Yeah? Yeah? But it ends this year. It's a tragic new for me, but it turns on Mujeres Pro Chile, and other communities around the world changed its name to leave the community alive. I have this. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But I talk about my roles, but who I am. I'm a so emotional girl, or woman, sorry. And I like web developer, as you see in there. I love art and craft. I'm not as well as a coder, but I love to make embroidery, like embroidery. Data visualization is other of the topics I like, and I live in Santiago of Chile. Santiago is not Chile, but it's the capital of Chile. And where is Chile? Chile is the southernmost country in the world. It's the bottom country in the world. And I am so glad, it's an honor for me to be the only Latin American speaker here today. Thank you. But where's the time? My personal motivations to make this talk to you is when I was a child, I was so shy. And I want to become an artist. My dad always showed me museums and orchestral classical music. It was a very good experience, but I was so shy and I don't believe in myself. So I have so knowledge in computing and knowledge in art, and I decided to study design. When I was in university studying design, in the same university as I'm teacher today, I get a crisis, and I think the design is not for me. So I freeze the year of university and start to study web developer. It was so illusional for me to know that I have, in Chile we say dedos para el piano, fingers for the piano, with this theme and topic, and I start to work as freelancer. And I discover a lot of artists as clients of mine, as a freelancer, and I start to make websites to them. And the artists, I don't know if you know some artists, want to the websites have glitter and go to space and had a lot of shiny buttons. And with my knowledge of design, my knowledge of web developer, and my like with art, I can merge those things into an usable website, but some craziness. Better we start about the talk. Yeah, what is algorithmic art? I hope you know what is an algorithmic. What is an algorithmic? I know you know. When you write a code, an input, then the input is processed, and then you get an output. In algorithmic art, the output is visually, it's graphical. Yeah? And the output can be a piece of art. And the exact result, and that's the good part of algorithmic art, it can be unpredictable, unpredictable and surprisingly complex. I think art is in humanity. Since the prehistoric, we saw art. It's a diverse range of human activities involving creation and creativity. Yeah? Here are some key aspects to consider. Creativity, expression, aesthetic value, mediums and forms. You have the media of the art, interpretation and perception about the artist and the user of artists, and innovation and tradition and cultural significances. Today, our culture changed a lot. We have media, Instagram, TikTok, a lot of bombs about colors, shapes, and videos. Nowadays, the art can be understood in many ways today. It has become incredibly difficult to it's very difficult to concept of art today. Is right, yes? For you, it's difficult to name art as a concept because there are a lot of media and a lot of art around us. An algorithmic art represents a unique form or artistic expression where technology and programming play a fundamental role in the creation of work, of the piece of art. It not only as a medium for the piece of art, as a reflection of it. This type of art is notable for his ability to transform algorithmics and data into visual and sensorial experience, often challenging our traditional perception of art. That's why I'm talking later, before. I talk about what is difficult to concept of art. Algorithmic art recognizes the ability to merge art and technology, using the precision and computational power of computers to create the work that are often impossible to generate manually. There we see a piece of art, and there is the code for the piece of art. It's a long code, but it's the beginning lines. So, with painting, we can make something similar to that, but with painting, we cannot make it move and turn around. It's too difficult to make it manually. And there's a concept I want to show you, the concept of algorist. An algorist is an artist who creates art with algorithmics. I choose the words so difficult for someone who speaks in Spanish. Sorry. The algorist have a pseudocode that defines what is the algorithm is. The pseudocode says, if there is a creation, an object of art, an algorithmic, and one's own algorithmic, that includes an algorithm. If not, or else if there's no creation, or not object of art, or not algorithmic, or no one's own algorithmic, is not an algorithm. An algorithm is an artist that makes art with code and algorithmics. And you know, JavaScript has a lot of libraries, right? How many libraries of JavaScript do you know? A lot? I know. And which one you work with? 3, 4, 5, más o menos? Yeah, okay. And there's another JS library named P5.js. I know you use these days JavaScript for utilitarian language to web developer or to front-end, back-end, mobile, with React Native, a lot. utilitarian, to generate connections, to interaction with the user, forms, and more and more and more. But I want to show you about other possibilities, and there is this library to generate that possibilities. P5, glad is here. P5 is a JS library created by Larry McCartney. Here I like to rise up women in technology, so I choose this library too. It goes to make coding accessible to artists, designers, educators, and beginners. It happens to a lot of people that code with the black screen could be scary for a lot of people, often if they are more visually. There are a lot of ways to learn code, and it's a possibility to learn, but generate art and generate visual, more than other ways to learn with the black screen. You're right? For someone who prefer aesthetics, like me, introduce the programming with some visually and colors is more easier. And this library is inspired by Processing, a programming platform for visual art. Someone know or have listened about Processing here? Huh? Nice, nice, nice. Processing, before. Processing is not based on JavaScript, it's based on Java. And it's really important to know the difference, right? Oh. Yeah. Here's the main page of P5.js. It's in English and Spanish, and show you what is the P5.js library. It's like a Canva, a lienzo, to generate art and creative coding. And what about history? Processing was developed by Cassie Rias, an artist, and Ben Fry, data scientist. They students of the MIT Media Lab and create processing. That is the first merge of art and science, so it's important to mention. Remember, processing is Java IDE, yeah? But what's the bad about processing? It cannot use in the websites because it's based on Java, or it's difficult to turn into websites. So in 2008, Processing.js was developed by John Rising, a programmer. You know him? Yeah, nice. He is work in jQuery and developer Processing.js. It's a port from processing to the web. Nice? So it transformed Java code into a legible language for the web that is JavaScript. But what happens then? P5.js was developed by Larry McCartney, the girl I showed you before. And in 2013 and 2015, some Java and processing updates make difficult Processing.js to remain in use. In 2016, Processing.js stopped active development. And in 2018, P5 online editor has launched. So it launched is more easier to use the library and to create code there in the editor for the beginners of the code. And in 2020, both processing and P5.js continued to be activated, used, and developed. You can follow their social networks, and it's always posting something new. As I say, you processing versus P5.js. Processing is about Java, is an IDE. P5.js is a library of JavaScript based on processing. And I want you to explore some functions about P5.js. There's the function setup, the function draw, the main functions of code of P5.js. It traduces in a Canva the HTML tag. Like Canva, HTML tag. You can change colors, figures, strokes, and a lot of things. Figures, yeah. Here we are, a basic code that is in the example of P5.js examples in the main page. You generate a function named start, then you define its position of x, position of y, radius 1, radius 2, and number of puntas. How do you say? Number of points. And then in the you define the function here. I don't know if I can. Yeah. Here is the function, and you you call the function in the draw, and you generate the stars, and it returns this. The output is these stars. The first one is 3-point star, and it push that is rotated. And the second one has 40 points, and the last one has 5. It's easier. So for someone who's beginning in programming, is more easier than black screen. You can use user input and interaction like this basic function that makes the align with the position of the mouse of the user. And what are the possibilities? There's a lot of possibilities. We can do some geometric patterns. We can do fractals and iterative systems that are infinite. We can visual representation of data. When I accelerate myself, but it was one of the topics I want to talk about, my personal motivation, that I was teacher assistant, and I generate some data visualizations with P5.js that focus more in creativity and art more than visualization as itself, but you can do with like JSON or CSV to generate this piece of art, or some APIs include. Simulation of nature. Here we are a fire, rainy, and wind. You can generate and simulate of nature. Do you know the game of life? It's a cellular automats, and you can generate with P5.js. And you can generate some randomness. There's never be the same, these lines. An interactive generation with the user inputs and outputs. And then I want to show you some experimentation resources. In the P5.js org, we have some teachers can show their work and their classes, and you can go through them. This is a class of Fede Santana teacher, and you can see what the exercise was to learn about what topics I talking about today, like how to make a function setup, function draw, and a lot of examples. No, it's not over. There's other called name open processing, where the community put their examples online to you to use free. There's a lot of examples. You can show, you can see, you can interact with, and you can see the code. And let me see the code of this example. Here's the code. It's a big code, but you can copy, fork them, change their colors, and explore with the example. Nice. And there is one of examples I want to show you, but I think I no have more time. But there's a lot named arcs and arrows, and it's impressive. This infinite is the cinta de Moebius. It's infinite, and it's very nice. And if you see the code, you can know that is base and fork from other example. It's more basic, but it takes the basic example and turn into this, that is infinity. I love this example. Me perdí. And then, conclusions. Did you know that kind of art? Have you seen these examples before? Yes, no, no. I see no faces. Nice. And I hope it inspired you. Are you motivated to become the new algorithmic of the decade? Yes. Woo. There's my bibliographic references. And I want you to applaud now. Nice. Nice. Thank you very much. Please, if you use Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. And if I don't use Twitter, sorry. Thank you very much for... Okay?
No, you're good, you're good. Finish. Oh, you're good? Okay. Everybody give it up for Francisca! Amazing!